You know what? Let's start with the Grand Platner because what a crazy story. I don't even know what the to say. If you look through all of his social media posting, there is, first of all, there is 0% chance that the CIA was like, let's get this jarhead to post on social media like an unhinged turned like hyper woke. Okay. That's not like, no one is investing that much time into our little utterly irrelevant circle in American politics. We have no motion. We have no clout. We have no socialism. Okay. There is like, we're not even talking about the federal government's incompetence here, which also probably is something to consider in terms of like building like a Manchurian candidate. Okay. So get your head out of your ass. I don't think the CIA is capable of delivering a 15-year plan, specifically a 15-year plan that requires infiltration of leftist movements by getting a Bernie nod in a Maine senatorial run against like a purplish Republican candidate. Okay. That's not real. Wake up.
First Reddit post I wanted to ask you about is from 2013. So someone wrote on Reddit, what is one question you've always wanted to ask someone of another race? You responded, why don't black people tip? I work as a bartender, and it always amazes me how solid the stereotype is. Every now and again, a black patron will leave a 15 to 20% tip, but usually it is between 0 and 5%. There's got to be a reason behind it. What is it? End of quote. How did you feel rereading that post? And what's your response to people who hear that and think that is like textbook racism and it's offensive?
I mean, one, I was legitimately asking the question. I mean, that was the point of the threat.
It's in, no, chat. No, calm down. Listen, it's still racist, but it's the only, like, it is the least racist of all of the racist options. It's a Reddit thread where, God damn it. I need to just show it. No, I need to show the actual now deleted Reddit post. First of all, I don't give a shit. It was in 2013, and he has all of these other posts like since then that obviously show that he is changed. Yeah, it was like one of those subreddits that was like r/too afraid to ask or r/not stupid questions. It's not spin. It really just was an honest question. Check the subheader. This was posted and deleted. The one reply his post got from a black girl who must be in her mid-30s now. Ask Reddit. r/ask Reddit. What is one question you have always wanted to ask someone of another race? Anything you want to ask or have clarified without wanting to sound racist. It's still racist. But it is like, do you see what I'm saying? It is still a racist thing, but it is objectively, in the grand scheme of like Reddit posting, it is perhaps the least racist option out of all of the racist options out there on Reddit. Cinnabar Firefly says, I'll throw poverty out there in general, but honestly, I don't know. I was raised to always slap down a 5 for good service in a setting like, I don't know, Red Lobster, where I'm probably not going to spend more than $30 on just myself and go up from there for extra degrees of awesome. There have been times I've made this mistake of not having enough to tip as well as I'd like, though. I do feel kind of slimy about it as I leave. Sad face. So, do you see what I mean? If you hear the statement without additional context, you're like, oh, wow, this guy's a real fucking asshole. Which, again, it is a racist question. But in terms of, one, it's in 2013. I can't begin to tell you how little I give a shit about this. I care way more about the fucking totem tattoo. Just so you understand. New Bernie Sanders defense Grant Platner calls him an excellent candidate. There's a young man who served his country in Afghanistan and Iraq, and he went through some really difficult experiences seeing his friends killed or whatever. He said, or whatever. And in spite of all that, he had the courage to run. I personally think he's an excellent candidate. I'm going to support him, and I look forward to him becoming the next senator in the state of Maine. Or whatever is a crazy fucking thing to slap onto. He went through some really difficult experiences, seeing his friends killed. If there are still, Mainers in here that are Graham Platner advocates who are looking at the situation and they're like, well, still better than Janet Mills. I don't give a shit. Don't worry. Leftists chirping on the internet are so utterly irrelevant in the grand scheme of things that my community not backing Graham Platner is not actually going to do anything.
Your team actually shared some opposition research on you with me. It's a video from, I believe, a decade ago. Let's just watch an excerpt and then we should talk about it.
What other tattoos does this motherfucker have, man? Come the fuck on. A lot of tattoo shops are fully aware of what the symbolism is. Oh, no. The tattoo shop where he got this at, because he said he got it in Croatia. Those motherfuckers knew what they were tattooing on his body. It is what he got is literally illegal in many European states. Okay? If he showed that tattoo in Germany, he would go to jail. He got this tattoo and then got other tattoos afterwards. There is zero, and I mean 0% chance that he went to another tattoo artist after he got that totem in the United States of America, and the tattoo artist didn't go, hey man, I'm going to cover that shit up for you. Not to do more opposition research on Graham Platner here, but most tattoo artists know one way or another exactly what this is, okay? And if he actually got another tattoo after that and the tattoo artist saw it, he would absolutely be like, hey man, I'm just going to let you know, I don't want to be weird, but you have a Nazi tattoo on your chest. Would you like me to cover that up? Brother, it's a skull and bones. Get the fuck out. No. The tattoo shops would absolutely, I don't know what that tattoo means, and I've always been very online. No, that's why I'm saying a tattoo artist would know exactly what that is. And they would say, I'll cover it up for you. You can't get a tattoo like this at normal tattoo shops.
First of all, great song choice. Tell us what's happening there, where you are. There's probably some listeners who are very confused. And the reason we are showing this video is because at the very end, you can see a tattoo on your chest. And I've been told that some of your political opponents are telling reporters that that tattoo has a Nazi affiliation. And I would like to know, is that accurate? Are you a secret Nazi?
I am not a secret Nazi. Actually, if you read through my Reddit comments, I think you can pretty much figure out where I stand on Nazism,
right,
and anti-Semitism and racism in general. I would say a lifelong opponent.
This is the craziest part about this is that it's not like, that's not a lie, man. Well, I am not a secret Nazi is also a little bit of a lie, because when you get a totem on your chest, it's not a secret. But if you look at his Reddit comments, Reddit is a hotbed for liberals who have the most Nazi adjacent values when it comes to American imperialism, when it comes to wars, when it comes to opinions on racial dynamics. And this motherfucker's Reddit posts are the opposite. Like, you look through, as we did, if you comb through his like 2020 and onward Reddit posts, there is literally like all of the blemishes on his track record are because he was going too hard on the socialism, communism front. Damn, the CIA is cooking with this one. Guys, I don't think the CIA designed a 20-year psyop to infiltrate the left. This is no longer the 60s and 70s. I cannot comprehend it, because I have never seen something so transparently fucking signaling in one direction and then simultaneously have his like social media footprint be the exact opposite. It's like someone else was posting on that account. Like, you see a guy, 3 tours in fucking Iraq and Afghanistan, Marine machine gunner, goes into fucking Blackwater in 2018, drops out 6 months in, drops out early, okay? Says, oh, this shit sucks. I don't like it. And then becomes like extra fucking woke. Let's keep going.
The video is from my brother's marriage to his wife, to my sister-in-law, who I was serenading. I told them that my wedding gift to them would be my embarrassment. And so I performed a lip sync version of Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball to my sister-in-law on the day of her wedding.
This might be your most out of touch moment. In which direction? Oh, geez, almost like you don't understand military indoctrination. This might be your most out of touch moment I can remember, because there are so many different opinions flying around in this chat. I'm getting attacked by everyone on this issue.
To my brother. And and now, of course, that embarrassment, which was mostly just held internally in the family, as we always watch that video at family events and laughed, is now shared with the world. So I feel like I'm just going to give them a wedding gift for the rest of my life, which is great. I love them deeply. The reason, by the way, the reason of this video, Saturday was their 10th wedding anniversary.
Oh, congrats.
And my sister-in-law was showing everybody the video. And
oh my God. So people around him literally didn't even realize that he had a fucking like his sister-in-law posted the video? Are you fucking kidding me? What are white people on, bro? What level? Do people in Maine just don't understand? Does the family have CTE as well? How is this possible? Like they were like, haha, look at how embarrassing this is. Meanwhile, people looked at the video and were like, dog, that is a prominent Nazi tattoo on the chest of a dude running for Senate. As a woke guy, by the way, as a leftist, Platner, who is running to unseat Senator Susan Collins, said he had gotten the tattoo in Split, Croatia in 2007 when he had a group of very inebriated fellow Marines, had time on deployment and decided to step into a parlor. Platner on Pod Save America. Now, this is the... If you're hammered in Croatia and you walk into a tattoo shop and you point to any number of different skull and bones tattoos, yeah, you're rolling a 90% shot that it's not going to be a pirate one, okay? My point is, how the fuck do you keep that on your chest for like 20 years almost without getting it taken care of? Platner on Pod Save America. We chose a terrifying looking skull and crossbones off the wall because we were Marines and the skulls and crossbones are a pretty standard military thing. We got those tattoos and then we all moved on with our lives. I can honestly say that if I was trying to hide it, I've not been doing a very good job for the past 18 years. Oppo layup. Drunk Marine went into a Croatian tattoo shop and picked the scary skulls. A believable story in absence of any other evidence. He holds these views, but them Canada has a Nazi tattoos are pretty easy to message against them and objectively true. Exactly. If anyone on the right had that tattoo and claimed he didn't know at the time, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Be for real. Yes, of course we wouldn't be having this conversation because if you're on the right, you already are embodying the fucking values. Context is important here. I guess it's one of those things where people just kind of assume there's no way that this dude is just like running around with a Nazi tattoo on his chest, right? Because it's so extreme. It is so fucking extreme that you're just like, yeah, there's no shot. Because like, look, I've done a lot of coverage on Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth does not have a totem on himself. He has the Jerusalem cross. He has the Deus Vult tattoo. These are all tattoos that are multiple layers removed. We know all of that stuff because we're autistically hyperfixated. Pete Hegseth also embodies those qualities in both his commentary and the way he carries himself. The reason why this is a unique predicament where people are like, what the fuck is going on here, is because he has not said those sorts of things. And a person like that would not be running as a fucking, not even a liberal candidate, but as a left flank candidate in the Democratic primaries. How can a CIA psyop for 20 years make the most sense right now? I mean, that will never make sense. For that to happen, you would have to assume that the CIA is one, incredibly competent. They can initiate like 20-year psyops. And two, they would even feel the need to initiate a psyop of this sort. They do not. The American left is in tatters. We have nothing, okay? We have nothing. We have no motion. We are barely able to run fucking candidates to forcibly take over the Democratic Party and move them in a more radical direction without having those candidates come out with that fucking totem on their chest. What the fuck? What are we doing? What are we doing? What the hell is going on?
There it is. There's me being embarrassed. But what we also, yes, so in 2007, I was a machine gun section leader with Kilo Company, 3rd Battalion, 8th Marines. We were on the 2-2 Mu, and it was my third deployment. My previous two had been to Fallujah and then Ramadi, 2006. And we went ashore in Split, Croatia, myself and a few of the other machine gun squad leaders. And we got very inebriated, and we did what Marines on liberty do, and we decided to go get a tattoo. And we went to a tattoo parlor in Split, Croatia, and we chose a terrifying looking skull and crossbones off the wall because we were Marines, and skulls and crossbones are a pretty standard military thing. And we got those tattoos. And then we all moved on with our lives. And I actually joined the Army after that, where I got, I had to go to MEPS. I got screened. Later on, I got a security clearance and a full screen.
Yeah, that's an indictment on the military, man. This tracks, but these online chatters think this is something new. No, I mean, the military screened him and literally were like, oh, it's just another one of those guys. Like, that's crazy. God damn it, the American military is so fucking insane. I don't know. I feel like we're making a big deal about this, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, this is... I think under normal circumstances, this would be somewhat of a big deal. Come on. You have a fucking Democrat running for a Senate seat with a literal Nazi tattoo on his chest. Like, what the fuck? But I guess like American politics is so busted and so out of whack that it just kind of doesn't matter. I think if you're looking at his chances, at best, this doesn't like entirely tank him. Entirely tank him, because like most Americans, I guess, didn't fucking know, and he could just like get away with like, I didn't fucking know, right? But like from my perspective, this calls into this ties everything else up in a very weird way. Yeah, he's gotta come out and be like, this is completely fucking unacceptable, and cover that shit
I went
up.
to work for the State Department as a contractor doing security for the ambassador to Afghanistan in 2018. And I've also just lived my entire life like a regular person with the skull and crossbones on their chest, which by that I mean taking my shirt off, performing Miley Cyrus songs in front of my extended family and to my sister-in-law, and just taking my shirt off at the beach.
Anyway, YouTube comments seemingly are on board with him, regardless. I can't imagine listening to this guy speak and hearing him articulate his evolution, then thinking, nah, let's go with a 79-year-old woman who would only serve one term, assuming she isn't annihilated by Susan Collins. Oh, Lord, if someone went through my shit post-history, I'd die. If we excommunicate people forever, if they ever say something bad, no one will ever have the motivation to get better. The voters need to attract a creative working-class majority. All had or still have unideal views on many things. The video might be the most infantry thing he's ever done. I'm 75 years old, and I think about blah, blah, blah. I mean, look, are we really going to worry about this? His or any other Democrats' comments when we have a president, vice president, cabinet spouting the worst stuff you could ever hear on a daily basis. It's one of those situations. These comments are what HasanAbi sounds like, Lamau. It's one of those situations where I think it's like relatively healthy for liberals to have this kind of attitude, in the direction of someone who is at the very least like saying that they're, at the very least, someone who is saying that they're like pro Medicare for all and shit, rather than someone like Janet Mills, right? Because in the past, liberals used to take this attitude towards people like Janet Mills. And now they're taking this attitude towards people who are significantly to the left of people like Janet Mills.